We don't remember what's wrong and what's right. The world is dead, but we stay. 'Cause we are born as living fights. We live to die. We live to die. And we surrounded by the night. We live to die. We are shadows in the neon light. We are shadows in the neon light. We are shadows in the neon. We are We are just shadows. It's supposed to be that we die. It doesn't matter if there is no light anymore, no light anymore. 'Cause we are born as living fights. We live to die. We live to die. And we surrounded by the night. We live to die. We are shadows in the neon light.
We have this outside the band right there. This comes up, kind of comes down, makes this weird funky pattern, close below, right? Does not touch the 200. I was looking for this nice little retest. Let's put this here. Now, I think I mentioned this to you guys yesterday in the session. This one was not pretty because the 1350 crossed back up to the upside, so I left this one alone, and I went to the So this one wasn't as pretty as the other one. And as you see, it didn't go either. But I would have loved to move. Take this off. If this move would have did something like this still, right? Come here, kind of give me this, and then drop. Right? I would still be pretty much into this. This is like $1. This is $1 makes $1.55. Not bad. But as you can see, this is crossing back up to the upside again. It's taking out too high. So this might not happen either. Right? S&P and NASDAQ 100 are going pretty much the same thing. They're like hanging out together today, to say the least.
Chilling.
Yep, just chilling, relaxing. So I'm assuming everyone's kind of waiting for this news to come out too, just to kind of see. Tyga, I know we had that quick little news trial with everybody, so we was expecting that would happen Wednesday, which is today. So I'm flat. I don't want to risk anything today. So it doesn't look like this is going to work out. So I'm gonna leave this on for a little bit longer. As you can see, this also says master trade, just like S&P. But yeah, I'm gonna probably go ahead.
Let's fly on.
Yeah, it is. This is nice.
Yo, what's going on, folks? What's happening? What's happening? Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I'm sure some of those inside traders already know the news, so they're taking advantage of it now.
Beginning of the market's going wild.
What was that?
Or the banks are doing their manipulation thing. One of the two.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
We got.
Yeah.
Right, Tyga, you want to take things over?
Oh, my bad. I'm not done yet. I got a little bit more.
You're not, we do actually. Michael, do you look at gold sometimes? I forgot.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we got a question here from Nitereka Ismail, which is asking about gold. you don't mind having a quick look at that.
Yeah, yeah. So gold was
Awesome.
actually really close, guys. Really, really close. But you couldn't take this. I mean, for my setup, for the simple fact that we do have this 5,200 cross here, which is great. Right. This lets me know that we're short, and I'm looking for short moves. Right. So looking for that 5,200 cross. I saw this yesterday actually, but I didn't take it. No, we're in level 2, and then we're looking for M's off the 200. Right now, this was
Order filled.
really close, guys. This gave us a lot of what we would initially be looking for. However, there was no reload. If you look here, you can see the market baseline cross below the static here. But at no point does this yellow market baseline come
curious.
back above this.
Curious
static.
if this works.
So for me, there was no reload. So even
It is
though
not
we did
gonna work.
have this
Stop filled.
move here,
Okay.
like kind of short.
I've just seen a
Maybe
lot
it
of
dropped. I
buys
couldn't
down
take this.
here.
Even though it worked out, that is not a move.
Started
that I would
dropping,
take
but you
because
could see all the
my M's and W's
ups.
off the
Whoa,
200, they require a
whoa! Why
reload.
is it filling in
Right,
like
I
so
would want
much
to see
afterwards?
something like this,
That's crazy.
and then go down, right? Because as I mentioned, when they kind of go above this static 50, this is when they're activating those orders going long, right? Those pending orders. So I want
that's
them to
why. In
activate those
comparison.
pending orders long.
So there
collect
was a
some
huge
contracts,
amount of
manipulate
buys
it, and
right in
then turn it
between
the other
2,
way.
3,
This is a case that they did not do that. So this was a pass
2,
for
3.
me in my system. This was a pass.
And
No reload, no trade.
Okay.
That's how it goes with this
It
particular
is good to
setup.
know.
So although very
Good
close,
to know.
no reload. They didn't give it to us. If we kind of pull this up, you can easily see that the yellow market baseline never came back up here. So that's a pass. For me, this is like what we call an outlier. This will happen if the M's and W's are 75%, like they'll work 75% of the time, 25% of the time it doesn't. This is one of those times where this will happen about 25% of the times. Right?
Super tired.
It makes the pattern on the chart, but the TDI says no, this isn't right. Right? So I want to be on the 75% side, not the 25%. Because what happens is they'll throw this sometimes, and then you're like, man, maybe I don't need to reload to take the M's and W's off the 200. And then next thing you know, out of those 10 times, 7 of them don't work. And you only saw that the time that it did work. And you think that you don't need the reload.
Oh, it's like,
That's
why
not
is
the
it
case.
tripping me out?
This
for
to
a
me
sec?
is a case where this is a broke clock, and you happen to look at the clock the exact time where the time was right. But yeah, close on gold, but close but no cigar for me. I didn't
Good.
have everything I needed.
Thanks, Michael.
Yep. And then I'll just do Bitcoin, GU, and GJ, and then I'll just go ahead and pass it along.
Nice.
So yeah,
I love
that's
your
what we were
short
mentioning.
analysis.
I've looked at all of it already, so I already know.
On about. Didn't realize. Yeah, it's like
Right.
love it.
Right. Cool. So this is a case where this was close, but
Trying. Whoa,
not
we
really
are
for me,
just
right? So we had
pushing
this 5,200
today.
cross once again. Once the 5,200 cross,
Order filled.
Why not?
100 cross. You know, we're in level 2. We're looking for that M or W off the 200, right? So this crossed to the upside, nice and simple. Now this, where I have this vertical line, this was very close, very, very close. But for me, again, it's W off the 200. It's not V off the 200, right? So this did come down and it ran, but I would have wanted to see it do this and then run up. So this, albeit it did go, this is again how gold just kind of went. This is one of those times where it doesn't work out like this often. It just happens to do it on this case. Typically, they at least make that second leg, retest that area, fail to break it.
This is our sacrifice account.
So I wasn't really interested in this. This next move was kind of close, right? Because we do actually have 2 legs here, right? And then it's kind of went up, but it's kind of fizzled out. I was looking for more momentum in this move, and it didn't happen. We did have this outside the band.
Look at all that volume. That's
outside structure being
crazy.
created. And then, of course,
That's
here
crazy,
is
man.
inside the band. So I
Crazy.
know over here that this is good to
What's
go.
up with the push?
And it's trying to retest this area, but it can't do it. It's failing to do it. But the fact that this kind of, what I would call, fizzled
It's
on
all
out.
push.
We had all
All
this
push.
momentum here,
That is
nice
concerning.
move. I don't want to see it take hours and hours to go forward like that. Like typically when the move happens, if it's the real move, it happens right away. It's a lot quicker than this. So all of this
Target
hanging
filled.
around for half a day, almost a whole day. That's not good. I don't want to be caught in this rangy.
Okay.
This was nothing for me, albeit it was close. So yeah, those are the only ones I was really looking at, and then I'll go over GU and GJ really quick. Yep. So same exact thing here, guys. If you look at this, right? So we have. I drew this to what I was looking for, but it didn't happen. So just like I keep drawing up, you guys will notice I say the same thing over and over and over again. This is how you spot these patterns, nice and simple. All right, level 2, looking for that M off the 200, right? But it never gave it to us. Yes, we have the cross, but as you see, price came up here, but it kind of didn't do anything. It just maybe nicked it a little bit with one little leg. This is nothing. Also, if you look here, once the market baseline goes below the static, as you can see, price never went back above this static EMA. We needed to do
See
something
if we can't
like
figure this out.
right? It has to come up and activate these orders for me to take it. That's what gives me my edge. If this doesn't happen, I don't have an edge. There's no need for me to get in. At that point, I'm gambling. But if this does happen, right, with the chart, of course, can agreeing, and the market baseline give me that reload, now my edge is appearing, and I need to take it, right? So I would have been much happier to see a move, something more like this.
Let's take the left
Right.
ray out.
And that will look
quick.
something like this. All right, take this to the low, put my stops above here, enter here. Now I'm interested in it if it looks like this. But
Actually,
before
I think
that,
these
this is nothing.
I have
I'm
as
just waiting.
green
It's like you just put the food in, and you're
and
just
red.
you think it's gonna be done already. Nah, it's still cooking. It's not.
Got to bake a little longer. Yep.
Yeah, this is nothing.
Watching the microwave. You pull
Right.
your food. On the TV.
Exactly.
Right on.
And then same thing with GJ. Yeah, GJ was nothing, like nothing. I think we mentioned last week. No, I think that was earlier this week actually.
What's
maybe
up
Monday or
with the
Tuesday.
push
So
this
once that
morning?
5200 crossed, which was here, I won't draw it on. You guys can see the 5200 cross. We did
What's
have
going
this
on with the push this morning, Father? We
pattern,
pray
this head and shoulders pattern
that
off of this
you
200
help us
EMA.
with the trades,
Not the
help us
prettiest
with
at
this,
all. 'Cause this
Hola,
crossed back to the
funded.
downside, then it's
We
crossed
weren't
upside.
really, we didn't
It would
really
look much prettier than this
look
if it were right.
when making
And a
decisions
great
of
example
buying
of that is AUDCH.
all the rules.
If you can look at
There's really not a
this.
whole lot of rules. I'm just used to
this,
trading
is much nicer,
Apex.
right? We have the 5200 cross, and then we have this left shoulder,
So
head,
it is what it is.
right shoulder drop. This is nice. EMAs aren't crossing up and down and all around. So
About
this is a
trades.
clean one.
Super smart.
GJ is not clean. So really ugly. So I did not take this
Which
one.
reminds me,
But
I must
that is pretty
log
much
in,
it, guys.
Figure out
I did get an
news.
alert
Is
on
there
the
any
ES just
news
now,
that we cannot trade?
which
Is
I
there
was
anything
looking at
today
earlier
that we
this
cannot
week, but
trade?
it held the level
Any
so
times.
crazy that
What's
it was
today? Today's the
ridiculous.
9th.
Yeah.
We cannot trade
Yeah.
at
So
11
same thing. We did get this 5200 cross here.
o'clock.
Now, although this did touch the
11
200,
p.m.
remember market baseline is
We're
below
good
the static,
today.
so there's no reload yet. So this does not count.
We're good
This is
today.
What does count though is this over here. Reason being, as you can see, market
Any other
baseline
news
is
that we got
now
wholesale
above the
inventories.
static. So this is the reload
7
that I'm
and
referring to.
730 we
Right,
have.
so this counts over
Crude, EIA crude.
Okay.
Only thing about this one was it was ugly. Like when it actually did go, it was ugly. This range here, I didn't like. Just kind of set in this area, not the cutest at all. And by the time this came out the box, hit the stops high and rolled over, this didn't give me 4-hour confirmation, so I let it go too.
Go on.
So
Hopefully we
super
have our
close.
ranges.
If we look at this one on the 4-hour chart,
It's kind of exciting, if you ask
okay, here
me.
it is. If you look at this, you can see that the previous candle, which is this one, is not only above the 13, it's above the 52. So I can't take this. I would have needed this to close below to take it.
Ooh.
There was no 4-hour confirmation on this one.
Yeah.
So
Let's
I expect
freaking
this one
go.
too.
Let's freaking go.
But yeah, guys, that was pretty much it for me. Did you guys want me to cover anything else or any questions or anything before I pass the screen?
Well, I was just making the observation when you draw out your M, and then when you draw out your little diagram, and then you circle your level 1, and then you put your
I don't
other
think
M.
there'll be any trades
Spells
tomorrow.
So I was
I mean,
just thinking
tonight.
might be a good tattoo
Apex
idea
tonight.
for you, because it's your own personal diagram, and you're paying homage to your mom as well.
To Mona Lisa.
And I'll get the Hungarian
Right.
flag, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's funny. Sam told me I need to get this. I've drew this out so many times. We have so many sessions. He sees it all the time too. He said I need to get this tattooed or get a shirt with this on here.
A shirt. Oh, there you go.
Like get a
Some
shirt.
other
T-shirt will look really nice.
Yep. That's
Yep,
great.
yep.
Good stuff, man.
Yeah, this is that market maker cycle for sure. I always want to take note of this. A lot of people mention like M's and W's, right? Which there's M's and W's here, but you want to know where you are in the cycle to be able to take advantage of these M and W's.
Yeah.
Right? Like these are two key levels. This break retest.
All right. Well, they
Man,
broke.
like I always use the
upwards.
words.
I think we're hitting all-time highs,
These
which is
two-
crazy because
These two areas
supposedly you should not
safest-
trade all-time highs.
safest trades on the
You
chart.
got price discoveries
these
still
two.
happening.
Super safe. to
Things
take.
like that, you know.
Right, like your probability of actually hitting on these trades, I promise it goes up at least some.
Yeah,
right.
rather than trying to right.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, it's very early on in the move, so yeah, it makes total sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they draw them out in levels, right? So you got peak high, peak low. 1 and 2 is where it's at. Everybody tries to grab the move so high and
Yeah.
ride it down to all the way here, and it's like, dude, that won't work long term. Like you might get a few trades like that and it just works out great.
Why not?
You're gonna lose so many times trying to catch that. It's just not gonna work out long term.
Yeah, the trading graveyard is full of people that tried calling tops and bottoms, so catching the falling knives. But no, that's a great one that you do because you wait till everybody messes up and gets sent to the graveyard, and then when that move proves itself, then you're catching the meat between it. So
And it's that extra confirmation that you're in the right, the cycle is going away, right? As well.
Yep.
No, that's a
Once
good
again, that's what it's about. Let everyone get trapped. Be patient. Sit on your hands. And the cool thing about it too is, I mean, obviously this doesn't happen every time, but when you do wait on that move and it's finally ready, the move happens fast. I mean, fast. Like
We've got our range, guys.
fairly quickly. I'm talking about in 2
We
candles,
have our
1 hour
range.
candles, so about 2 hours. You should be at break even, if not at TP already. So it's worth the wait.
No, it's
Yeah.
breaking above.
Right on. Well, as soon as my trade plan for the day pops up.
Oh, Rich, it looks like you got one of those cameras like Sam that zooms in and zooms out.
Yeah.
I do, but I've just switched off that function now.
Okay.
So if I use my hand like that, it actually stops. So I must be careful not waving at you guys.
If a fly walks across it, does it move it?
I don't know yet.
I guess we'll find out.
For sure.
Excuse me. All right. So just what I'm looking at today, obviously Governor Bailey had his little speech. Just a lot of the same. Higher uncertainty. That seems to be the common theme with a lot of these governor speeches. So, yeah, higher uncertainty, delaying investment decisions. So, yeah, just more nothing burgers, in my opinion, when you look at it from a 30,000 foot view of the speech. But I wanted to go over the COT update, the COT data, and something called the carry trade scanner. So, you guys know I personally like the longer term trades. You know, if I had to pick one or the other, right? 4 hour, 1 hour versus like 5 minutes.
You know, we
that
could
would
lock
definitely
location.
be the hill I
That's
would die
nice.
on. So when I trade the longer time frames, the higher time frames, I definitely pay
Like
attention
how
to the
it
carry trade
leaves
scanner because of the
The
swap
number
fees. So
on top.
I was going to show that on my Edge Finder here in a moment to let you know what I look at, especially if I'm in a trade for X amount, you know, for several days. I just don't want it, you know, even if that move is
Not
going
what I
for
was
me, I don't
looking
necessarily want to
for.
stay in a trade if it's going to continue eating me up on swaps. So I'll kind of point out what it is,
9,
for the crowd. And then, yeah,
7,
they've been talking about more optimism on the European
50.
Union trade deals. So we'll see how that all,
We
you know,
say
pans out.
lock it in, baby.
And then, yeah,
Lock
when
it
it comes
in.
to the New Zealand dollar, they did keep rates unchanged yesterday. Wasn't really a ton of movement, so really negligible. It was just kind of a boring day, unlike the day before with the Australia rate adjustments. So, but yeah, really the top 5 I'm watching right now is the Euro Canada dollar on a 1 hour demand zone. The VWAP is actually going through that zone as we speak, so it's just another odds enhancer added to that you know, potential trade setup. I'll go over that, and then I'm in 3 positions currently: Euro Aussie dollar, Bitcoin long, and then pound Swiss short. So I'll go over that real quick. But other main one is the pound dollar. So this one was giving me a bullish bias as recently as last week, I think it was, but the script is completely flipped. So it's actually giving me a negative bias, a bearish bias. So I have identified a 1 hour supply zone. Same thing. It's got a VWAP going right through it. So I'm going to take a quick peek at that. But a little higher on the curve. So it might present a very good risk reward, you know, if I catch a good move to the downside. So,
Oh, that was
just going over to the calendar. Yeah, there's the FOMC minutes that Michael, you were talking about. They were asking about gold earlier.
Order filled.
So I wanted to look at it just from a fundamental point of view real quick. So let me isolate my my metals. Just take a quick look at gold. So on gold, I'm getting a bias of a 3. So remember, 5 or higher is a bullish. -5 or lower is bearish. So I really, for me personally, looking at gold, I just need to find at least 1 or 2 other good pieces of news for gold. So meaning negative for the U.S. So, you know, if that's the case, then that would give me a good bullish bias, obviously, to look to time a trade on the chart. So if I'm sitting at a 3, the reality is, if I go back to my calendar, obviously Thursday, tomorrow, we do have unemployment claims coming out. So if that number, which is projected to raise by 3,000, it looks like, to 236, if that number is soft and does not meet expectations, say it's 220,000, 210,000, then that's obviously negative for the dollar, but that's good for gold. So for me personally, to get into gold, I would want to see what the result comes out of for the unemployment claims tomorrow, just to give me a little bit more information. You know, with me with trading fundamentally, information is my trade. I mean, charts, like I say, charts are always kind of the last thing I do. But yeah, if I get a good fundamental reason to trade gold, then I may be looking at that come tomorrow after this report comes out. Again, if it's soft for the dollar. Because if it's soft for the dollar, you know, obviously it's good for gold. So yeah, that's all I really need is just another good piece of news. And then if I look at gold, I wish I had that news today because it's currently actually bouncing in. Oh, I need to flip it. It's actually sitting in a 4-hour demand zone right now, as you can see. Obviously, it's just been going up and up and up for a long time. So the trend overall is great, except it has been obviously going quite sideways for the last couple 3 weeks or so. But if I'm looking at this immediate swing low and swing high on the 4-hour time frame, and yeah, I mean, you know, there's a demand zone there. It's obviously,
I'm tired.
you know, sitting just under the 61 zone there, or the 61 level on the fibs. So, you know, if you're looking at it just from a technical perspective, then it might be a decent place to take a stab at it. Because again, it is bouncing on that longer term uptrend
Anything
line.
going on?
It's just going right over it. So, and then yeah, outside of that 4-hour demand zone candle, I mean, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 excellent looking, you know, bullish candles. So, but on the way down, it's kind of created another little 4-hour supply zone. I wouldn't be too worried about that because it hasn't been strong enough to break through the demand zone, and plus it's low on the curve. So remember, this is obviously again where we pull out our Hungarian flag, like I like to do, and then right there's your curve. So you got this low point, you got this high point. Green means buy, red means sell. The white, what does that mean? It means no go. It means don't diddle in the middle. Anytime you guys hear that expression, that's what that means. In the middle. So now, you know, that's a rule that is best for, I would say, the newer traders. If you've been trading a while, you kind of, you know, you can trade in the middle. Because you've got a system, you've got something that works good for you.
Right.
But especially for newer people, I always just advise, just buy low on the Hungarian flag, sell high, right? Buy low, sell high.
Lots of buys
sell,
happening.
You know, short, sell high.
I don't really know
buy
what any of
cover
that
low,
means
so.
anymore. I'm so
But yeah,
tired
from
right
a
now
pure
too.
technical standpoint, it's not a
Stomach
horrible
is
place
now
to take
killing
a
me.
stab and then maybe, you know, look to take a profit up in this
I don't
area.
even know if I
But anyway, I
took
just
the
wanted to throw that out there
magnesium
for
today.
gold, just to kind of piggyback off of what Michael was talking about. Because again, we all have different systems. His system is giving him a no-go. Mine is too. But, you know, for me, I just need to see a good fundamental report for gold, and then we'll be golden. So, I wanted to take a quick peek at my trades. I'm gonna flip over. So I've got 2 trades that are the same ones I've been in all week. 2 of them have risen since yesterday, so they're looking good, and then one of them is just being a pain in the butt going sideways. So that'd be the Euro Aussie dollar trade. That was the one I bought in this area right here after the Australia rate cut came out, and they raised the rates, right? Yeah, raised to the 385 from the 360. So yeah, I'm still in that. Oh, wrong screen. Sorry. Still in that trade. It's just kind of going sideways. It might tap me out, it looks like, but I've got a stop loss there, small loss.
That's going crazy.
So we'll just give that a little bit more time, probably the rest of the week. If it's still going sideways in this area by the end of the week, probably likely just get out of it. Start all over next week. But other than that, the pound Swiss, that's given me, let me just reset.
All right, we're at the top here.
Chart real quick here, refresh it. All right. Yeah, so let's go back to the pound Swiss. Yeah, so that supply zone candle, it's giving me a pretty nice slow, steady grind downward now. So, yeah, I already moved my stop loss to break even. My cup of coffee, my free cup of coffee, like I mentioned yesterday. So, free trade, rest of the way. Price starts getting in this area,
So
then
we're just
I'll
gonna
obviously start
continue to
trailing my
monitor
stop down.
this part.
Yeah, may just possibly bump my take profit to the end of this, you know, to this low over here. So. It's all discretionary. It just kind of depends on the price action, right? So, so yeah, I'll probably end up moving that stop loss a little lower down to lock in some more profits.
Ooh,
short.
more dropping.
And then Bitcoin So that's another one I bought last week right here in this area on July 4th in that demand zone. Give me a nice spike up. Looks like we're getting a little bit of a rejection candle as we speak, but yeah, I bought here, stop loss here. Let's see what a 1-to-1 looks like. I don't think we're there yet. Yeah, that's 1200. Oh, I guess we are 1-to-1.
You're pretty much there.
Pretty much there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, tell you what, 1 hour might be a decent place to avoid a loss. So we'll move that to break even. So I got 2 cups of coffee for free, so we're looking good there. And then I do have obviously my take profit up here. I think I might actually raise it up just a little higher for now. But yeah, same thing. I mean, as price gets up in this area,
I wanted to.
same thing. I'll just start trailing up.
Let's see
or,
what it
underneath the swing lows. Might even look at that on
I
a
almost
15.
pressed the sale
Yeah,
button.
so you
as
know,
you
we
can
get
see.
up if we break this high right here, you just scroll out. See my profit target up there. I need to. There's my path to it. Yeah. So I mean, if we come up here and break this high, then I'll probably just move my stop loss from this swing low to this swing low. Okay.
So one swing low behind.
Right. So because it broke all this, that's why I moved it to break even to begin with. But yeah, if we can get another break of this high, then I'll probably go ahead and move from this swing low to swing low. So it's just kind of, I don't do trailing stops, meaning I don't let the system do it. I just like to manually do it below the swing low point.
Yeah, me too.
As it has
Me too.
Change of character. So, yeah, no, it's just like a pretty simple, easy way to do it.
Yeah. Because you don't want, for me, I don't want it to like, it's like, wait, I wouldn't have put it right there. And it's like, it took me out and I wouldn't have did it like that. I'd rather manually do it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because, and an easy way to kind of judge that too is, maybe look at the retracements. So if I know that I had a retracement from here to here, from this point to this point, then it's safe to say we could get another retracement of that same distance.
Oh.
So,
Right.
if I just, let me see here, that's going to be what?
Good to know.
Let's just say 1,000. Yeah, 1,000.
It's a standard.
So then I could safely assume that from this swing high, we could get another 1,000, 1,000-point retracement, which would be right about there, even if it was the 1,200.
Yep.
So then that would tell me that actually it's even there now. So I mean, theoretically, I could just go ahead and move it there now, but I'll just leave it with that little bit of wiggle room. But yeah, it's on the more recent retracements, that's a good way to gauge, to give you an understanding. Okay, I would expect it would at least retrace that much.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, and then carry trade. So something I like to look at, like if I'm observing the fact I'm short pound Swiss, on my edge finder, I have this fun little tool called the carry trade scanner. So if I click on that, basically what it's showing me is the base current, the quote base currency, quote currency.
All right,
rates,
what's happening,
guys?
What's going
so
on?
if you see one that's blue, that means if you're buying long, it's going to pay you. It's going to pay you a swap.
Stop filled.
Credit to your account.
Mm-hmm.
If it's red, and you buy it, it's going to charge you. Okay, at the end of each night. So, it's always good in general just to be in sync with whatever the rates are giving you. Obviously, dollar, Swiss franc, it's going to pay you if you're long. If you're short, it's going to charge you that same amount. So
luckily we didn't
may not know this as well, but so
when does this update every day, Tiger?
No, well, this is just straight across. Oh yeah, it updates anytime there's an interest rate change. Yeah, usually it's usually updated within the hour or so. But
That's nice.
Yeah, but if I'm just looking at the pound Swiss, just as an example, where's my pound Swiss here?
It's almost like dividend.
Huh?
Forex.
It looks like it was at the top. Yeah.
Pound Swiss, pound.
It's number
Swiss.
3, I believe. Number 3.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm short the pound Swiss. So as you can see, I'm getting charged 4.25% every night when when the new day switches over. So it's just something I want to be aware of. If I'm short this, I want to make sure my price is moving in my favor. Enough to obviously profit on top of the swap fees that I'm paying. So
that's good. That's really good.
Sitting at $230 at the moment profit, so I'm not worried about the swaps because, I mean, I don't know the exact swap for this. It's usually about $5, $10, $15, a night, just depending on the size I put on. But yeah, it's just something I want to be aware of because if I'm in this particular trade for, let's say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and it's just going sideways, well, it's just costing me to stay in it as a short position. Now, if I was in it long, it's paying me, even if it's going straight sideways. So anyway, that's just something for everybody to be aware of, anybody watching the stream, especially if you do the longer term swing trades. You don't have to worry about it so much when you're scalping and you're just doing intraday, 5 minute, 10 minute, 15 minute, time frame trades, but it's just something to be aware of for those longer term traders. So I thought I would throw that out. And then the Euro Aussie dollar. Just wanted to look at that one because I'm in that one as well. Euro. Okay, so that's the same thing. I'm long Euro Aussie dollar, but it's charging me a swap of 2.15% at the end of each day. So 2.15% of the, let's see, this the total equity, is that right? The equity of the trade itself, I believe that's what it is. So yeah, the total equity of the trade. So anyway, yeah, so basically I'm getting charged a swap fee on both of these. Now the Euro Aussie dollar, just to go back to my trade, again, it's a negative. So not only am I currently down on this trade, but I'm also getting charged that swap fee. So this is one that I'm definitely going to pay extra attention to over the next couple of days. And again, if it's just going straight sideways, if it's down in this area by the time Friday hits and the market closes, I'm just going to get out of it. I don't want those weekend swap fees added because they count as 3 times 3 on Wednesdays or something like that. Yeah, they find ways. Brokers find ways of charging you. So unless I get just a big spike up in the next couple of days, I'm exiting out of this trade before the weekend hits. So that's all because of the swap fee. So it's a little more advanced stuff. Sorry to probably spin people's brains,
comparison of the rest.
But it's just something to keep an eye on, and maybe write down and circle back in a couple of years when you start getting a little more advanced. So,
now that's good information because I'll be honest, like a part of me, like I mentioned prior, that like I don't really like to pay swap. It's hard enough.
Order filled.
As it is. So to add a fee on top of a fee, it makes no sense. So
yeah,
it's good to know that.
And that's why I say, I mean, if I'm getting into a trade, especially off my demand zone, supply zone bounces, I want it to move fast. Because if it's not moving fast, just diddling around and going sideways, then it's charging me, especially if I'm going against the carry trade. So, so yeah, that was.
That's good to know. I mean, a lot of beginner traders, I would suppose, doesn't even know what that is. All of a sudden, you're looking at your stake. And there's like fees going off, and you want to blame the broker, but it's just part of trading.
It's just part of it's cost of doing business. That's the way I look at it. I mean, just like when you have a losing trade, it's a cost of doing business. That's really, the best way to look at it. I mean, I think I have like a 38% win percentage. So it doesn't sound great to probably a brand new trader, but when I win more than I lose, I mean, I'm losing a tiny amount. I'm winning those 2 or 3 to 1 risk reward. Then making the actual money. So
Robert says it's the feed, but the feed to
ride the ride. You Robert, yeah, that's it.
Well, I'm mixing my words up there. Right, Robert.
I mean, when you go start a small business, think of all the thousands of dollars you have to spend up front just to get your supplies, technology going. certifications, licensing, all that. So that's essentially what trading is. I mean, maybe you pay for some education, maybe you obviously fund an account, but yeah, each loss is just nothing more than cost of doing business and learning. Like I said the other day, you learn more from your losses than your wins. So let me see here. What else was I going to go over? COT report. Yeah, I wanted to go over that real quick.
Can I just quickly jump on there?
Yeah.
Maybe we'll just finish it off with the COT
Okay.
report.
You want to jump? Did you want to jump on?
Yeah, if you don't mind. I just need to get my analysis out of the way. I don't want to be talking if something happens and then I'm not concentrating. So nothing's happening at the moment. That's all I'm really trying to say. But let's go to
markets are still right now.
Go on.
And right, crude oil. We got crude oil inventories in about 25 minutes or so, a little less. Again, we went through this analysis this week. Price did hit the 68.53 level, which is again a downward sloping angle line taken from my upper, the angle taken from my upper median line, right? Going down to a 4-hour, this was that fair value gap that we talked about at the beginning of the week.
All right.
Again,
all right. Let's see some downward action now. Finally, let's go.
So should
let's
price
freaking
reach
go.
that, might do so if we get an intense reaction to the crude oil inventories, and then if we can get into that zone, or maybe not. Right, price might just shoot up from here. But I'm still really hoping for
it's
a
that
retest.
googly
Or not
moogly.
retest, it's still not, it's unmitigated, it's not been tested yet. And then some sort of a bounce out of it. And then see if we can actually target these highs again.
Oh, JPY is dropping.
68.93.
The dropping.
Yeah, so that's still the plan. Got to be patient, wait for price to move lower.
Tiger.
And
Can you hear Richard?
Yeah.
Oh.
Can you hear me, Mike? Can't you hear me?
Can you hear? I hear both of you.
Here's a drop. This one here is
now,
a
Michael,
fun.
can you hear me now? That's weird because you heard me earlier.
Oh.
Yeah. All right, I'll just quickly finish the analysis and see if I can get onto that while you guys take over again.
Oh. Okay.
But anyway, where was I? Yeah, just very easy. Waiting for price to make a move to that fair value gap. This is again on a 4-hour time frame. Very similar to what Tiger does with these supply and demand zones. Although this is a fair value gap. Got to be patient, right? Got to see what happens. If price reaches them, you get some sort of reaction from them and then react. Right? Where price is currently right now, it's tried to get through that angled black line that I drew there. And this is a good example of how market
Oh, that's not the right one.
geometry can work sometimes.
This is what I was looking at. This is the
How
one
price
with
is
the
drawn
funded
towards
account.
these lines.
This
as
is
well
the
as how
one
they
with the
can
funded
act as
account.
support and resistance. In this case,
Ooh,
two
snap.
fails to actually break them up.
Snap.
Right, so that is
Crackle
crude oil.
pop.
Michael, can you hear me now?
Can you hear Richard, Michael? I mean, I hear him just fine. Are
That's
you unable
weird.
to? Michael, can you hear either one of us? I guess not. I think he's missed figuring it out.
Holy smokes, do
But-
they just buying? Are we
Right,
just in this crazy up market? What am I doing
so
trying to
that's
sell?
what
I've been trying to
the
sell all freaking
information
morning.
Very well.
That's crazy.
Things.
Trying to catch
back
the
in.
reversals.
Look at the
Wow.
NASDAQ. Very strong move here. Right to the upside. Looking at a 15-minute time frame here, we've got a pretty large fair value gap that formed about 15 minutes or so back. Just tracking this move to the upside for where price might potentially move towards. We're looking at this upper red warning line around about 22,975, almost at a 23,000 level. That will definitely, in my opinion, be a drawing, sort of like a drawing card or level, and also psychological level. That being said, price has just cleared Thursday's highs at 22,000. Where's that gone now? 922, right? So I wouldn't need to wait. Clearly, it's bullish for a pullback lower here. Maybe back into this fair value gap, which is this green block that just formed here on my chart, or that zone over there. And I would like to see that potentially before price hits the upper red warning line, which is just upward sloping angled line of that pitchfork, right?
Oh, it's flying.
It's basically equal distance from place to the upper side, which is called a warning line. So that could potentially be an area where price might find resistance and also move towards. If it fails to actually get there today, or hopefully during the session there, and we make a move lower, then I'll be definitely interested in a retracement into that fair value gap, and see if it maybe aligns with one of these market geometry lines, and then try to get into a trade it back to the upside if it works.
All right, what are we doing, man?
And what was your favorite time frame for finding the fair value gaps again? Was it the 15 or
the 5 minutes?
The 5.
But you see, when you get really strong moves to the upside, fair value gaps all over the show. This big one down here actually corresponds with the larger 15-minute one. It's actually a little bit wider than this. So there's one on the 5 and the 15-minute that form around about the same area. We also have that center median line running straight through it. So that could also then act as support, right? So yeah, need a decline or retracement lower before all this long on the NASDAQ. I'm not chasing it at the moment. Can you hear me now, Michael? You're back.
Yeah, I hear you fine now. I don't know what that was.
Nice.
A glitch, a gremlin. All right, so what else was I looking at this? Someone's alert going. No. There was just an alert that went off somewhere, but it's not me. Anyway, so that's what I'm looking at. I'm really hoping that we can get some sort of retracement here on the NASDAQ. We do, like I mentioned, in about 17-minute got crude oil inventory. Hopefully I can get a nice sort of deeper discount into that zone and then try to trade it back to the upside. So today just looking at the NASDAQ and crude oil. I'll definitely not try to short crude oil towards the zone, especially right before crude oil inventories. That is sort of like the CPI numbers for crude oil, if you will. It can get quite volatile. And crude oil can also move pretty fair distances in a very short period of time, which you don't want to be caught on the wrong side.
Yeah.
So be patient, wait for the areas. Price reaches it, get a reaction
for the
from
crude
it,
oil.
Got to trade. Obviously, risk reward ratio needs to be appropriate for you to get into the trade as well. So obviously, a lot of things to think about as a new trader. But even if you're not a new trader and be trading as long as we have, these are all things that's always in the back of your mind. You should always consider them. All right, so that's me, guys. I'm going to wait for the next, like I said, probably 15 minutes now. We can then switch back maybe to crude oil here, see if there's any reaction to those numbers and if there's any sort of trade set up.
Yeah, when did we find out
NASDAQ
oil
again
was
drops
happening?
lower,
7:30.
then I'll be interested in taking along, but it's got to. I'm not going to go long.
Spaghetti-o.
Okay. Right. Michael, do you have anything else to show us there, or Tiger? You
Yeah,
want to go
actually
ahead
do.
with you do. Awesome.
Yeah, cool.
And
I'm
then
looking
we'll
at
get
this.
back to-
I can jump in with UF short. I'm liking UF short here. So I will
Alright.
show what I see here.
Please do.
Yeah, this one's a little low. It's only took this with a half a position, but of course, since I took it on a half position, it ends up going. But that's how it always works out, right?
Of course.
Let's see. I'm in here at 79.52. So 79.52 is about right. Let me scoot this down. 52 is like right here. So nice one for $1.25. Not bad at all. Yeah, this actually has everything that I would need to take, guys. I don't like it because it's kind of low. So that is the reason I put the half on it. But again, for me, I don't not take the trades.
Oh, man.
So we got this 5,200 cross here.
I don't know, guys.
And once we get the 5,200 cross, as I always say, we're in level 2. Oh, whoops. What just happened?
What are we watching for? What are we watching for?
200 cross. We're in level 2. Looking for that M off the 200, right? Just that pattern. That's what I really want to see is that pattern off the 200. Which now again, it could be an M. It could also be what I would call like a head and shoulders pattern as well. Kind of how I showed on Bitcoin longs, and then how I showed on AUD CHF. Right, but we got these two things here. So I got, first of all, I have this outside structure here, so I know this could possibly create it, but that's not the move to take. Then we have this other one here. All right, now we're getting somewhere. So that's outside the band as well. And then this one here is slight, but this is outside the band as well. So once I see these 3 hits, I know that's not the move yet. I'm looking for it inside the band with the retest of this area, which is what we have here. It retested this same little area, but on the TDI, this is definitely inside the band, right? We also have our, if I scoot this up, we have our reload right in here, right? If you look, market baseline has gone above the static line right here. And it has, this entire thing is what creates this reload, right? So they've activated those pending orders long. And what I really like about this is the fact that this market baseline is just what I call screaming down. It's going like hard 90-degree angle down, basically, right? So really, really like that. So I have my chart and my TDI both agreeing with me saying that this thing is short. So just took a little small position on it, as you guys can see, just a little half. I always like to put
Stop
these,
filled.
so just in case I step away from the computer, I always kind of like to put these 4 alerts on here, which of course is SL hit, stop loss hit. I want to know if when this is coming back, maybe I'll take a second position. You know, maybe I'll just leave it alone. It kind of depends on what it looks like on the hard right edge. But in this case, today, I definitely would not be taking another position right before this news. I ultimately wanted to get to here, right? At least in this area. This is like the next bounce area. This is yesterday's blue tracer. So once it gets here, I'll move my stop loss to break even, right? And of course, I have my infamous TP smacked, my favorite alert.
Smack.
Yeah.
So yeah, TP smacked.
TP smack.
So I'm just kind of, love that alert when it goes off. So we're not far away at all. We got 5 pips away from it. We'll see what happens. That might happen in the next, we got 25 minutes left. It might happen in the next 25 minutes. But yeah, guys, other than that, that is, let me lock this on here. So yeah, everything else is pretty much the same as always. And then of course, I always have to include this as well. If we look at the 4-hour chart, you can clearly see that the previous closed candle, which is this one here, is below this 13 EMA, right? And this is why I say this is a hard rule for me, because I used to take it without it, and I was losing a lot. So I literally only take these trades if this is a 4-hour confirmation with it, right? And as I mentioned earlier, once it kind of sets up the right way, it gets to TP or at least break even pretty quickly, right? So
Very nice.
Yeah, this candle has 2.5 hours on it. So we'll see. This is pretty much almost right here. As long as I can get here, I know I'm at break even. I don't have to worry about it on the table. And yeah, I'll just move my stop loss probably like +1, +2, and see what happens. That's pretty much it.
Right on.
Now, when I see UF moving like this, it always makes me want to look at Euro USD to kind of see what's happening with this one as well. All right, so if that one's going down, typically this one will be going long. Now, the next move in this cycle, today's Wednesday. Yeah, today's Wednesday. So we might get to see this, guys, in like the next few days. Now, what I'm looking for here is, and I'm pointing this out right now, so when it sets up, you know, you guys can kind of see I predicted this, but this 5,200 is about to cross, it's looking like, right? Now, typically I'm showing something that happened already, right? But this will be a case where this has not happened yet, and I'm showing what I would take, right? So this, once this 5,200 crosses, the move that we are looking for is this M off this 200 going short.
4, 4, 8,
right?
5, 5,
Simultaneously, let's look at the TDI. You can see the TDI happening back here. Market baseline crossed below the static here. And price, the market baseline has not gone above the static yet. So what I would like to see is this to come up, give me that reload that I love looking for, that I have to have on this setup. And then I would take this short.
Snake.
Right, so EU might be a nice level 2 trade tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow. I don't want to take it on Friday. I don't really like trading on Friday, so I'm gonna say hopefully tomorrow. This can set up, and this might be a nice 1 for 2 setup. Right, so this will not be a bad trade at all, guys. Like, this is gonna be really nice if it does set up. Right, we got our peak top here, as you can see, 1350 crossed here, so we know we're in. It just happened on Sunday, right? So not the best, but this was the level 1 move after the 1350 cross. We got the run, the pull back to the 50, and riding it towards the 200. The next move to happen is the 5,200 cross and the M off that 200. Right, same exact pattern that I always draw. That's why for me this is crucial.
Tattoo.
Once I can identify where I am in the cycle, everything else is just waiting. It's a waiting game. Right? So we took that. Well, we didn't take that move, but that move already happened. And that move, yeah, the tattoo. Right, so we will be looking for this next move to happen right here, which is that 5,200 cross and that M off the 200. With this beautiful reload, if we can get all of this to occur,
now we've got this all dialed in.
This trade will be good to go.
Put here, and then we can
leave
put
this here. And I was able to identify that, guys, like just by knowing that UF likes to do the opposite. So when I see this setting up, right, it makes me just want to look at the other one. It's opposite twin, so to speak.
Gotcha.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, I would love to see this work out. Like, love it. This would be a great trade to take. And it has, again, this is a nice 2-for-1 move too as well. So this will be good. We'll see what it does. Hopefully it doesn't get blown out the box.
All right. I know. But if you want, I can show my UK trade real quick. And I know you got your oil inventories coming up here in a few minutes.
Yeah.
So it did come down to that line.
While you guys were.
I guess we could have stayed in, but whatever.
Gooey trades.
Bring up the GUI.
Yeah. So with the UK, the FTSE, we were talking about that earlier. You can see I'm getting a fundamental score of a 5 right here. So that gives me permission for longs. So looking back over on the small time frame. 15 minute, I did have a demand zone candle here. 1, 2, and 3 green candles coming out. Did break. I
don't think we're getting into any trades.
Came back down, hit the zone. Obviously longer term, uptrend. So yeah, we're gonna see how that works out. I got in a little bit later because I didn't see it when it first hit it, but.
All right, we're hitting here.
I would have probably avoided it, except for the fact that
top of the 15-minute,
kind of left the first time. Obviously, I had that trigger candle there on a 5-minute with a really good spike in volume below. Had a couple red candles as well that were pretty sharp to the downside, but the volume was getting smaller. So I'm looking at that candle right there and that volume. And then I compare it to these other
order submit, order filled.
See, the volume is just a lot less. So this is just really nitpicking, but this is what told me I could take a stab at it. Now, if it were the inverse, I probably would have avoided it. Meaning, if this volume, these candles had high volume, I would have obviously ignored it. As far as that red candle. But as you can see, the volume is just kind of going down. So I wasn't too worried about those candles because of the law of effort versus result when we're talking Wyckoff theory. So anyway, I just got into that. We'll see how that one works out. And you got your inventory coming up. So just wanted to point that out.
Got a couple of minutes, let me just share my screen again.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up.
Minute and a half.
Yeah, just quickly looking at the NASDAQ, we are getting that decline I've been waiting for. We'd like to see if I pull in a bit deeper. You can also see that S&P divergence at the top here. See how NASDAQ moved higher. It also coincided with hitting this dashed median line. And we're making sort of lower highs on the ES.
Can't wait to see what it looks like within this area here.
As you, with ICT type of concepts, that's seen as smart money manipulation for them positioning themselves, whoever them are. They always like to say they, them. Who are they exactly? Not the big institutions. But, we are seeing a decline, which is good. I just want to try to move it a little bit lower.
Lots of buying.
Right, we're doing on the report. Let me just refresh.
There's a big push on the sale there.
22 seconds.
Didn't really
left.
go anywhere though.
Again, with anything, I don't like trading into a news event unless I am holding a position for a longer period of time. And price is proper in like sort of profit, right? So we go down to a smaller time frame, and we've got it coming out right now, apparently.
Yeah, let's not trade it. I was going to.
I think I can.
I want it. I want to press the button.
Pending,
did not
pending,
get to
pending.
the zone we would want it
Refresh.
to get to.
Refresh.
Yeah.
You would think it would
What are
be
you guys
so-
following their forex?
Huh? What was that?
Pending. I don't know. I'm not getting any numbers through there yet. Your calendar. What do you use?
It's 7.1 million.
There we go.
Oh, Forex
Oh,
Factory.
now there it
Yeah,
is.
that's
That's,
the one.
whoa.
That's a big one.
That's a big one. And it was crazy last.
Stop
I think
filled.
it was last week's one was
Let's go.
massively below
We should have took that.
expectations.
We should have took it.
That's obviously a huge increase.
That's a huge one. Yeah, 'cause they
Yeah. So my chart is standing still. Nothing much happening, guys. No reaction as of
That
yet,
is
although this
typically
is,
the move that I am
Right.
waiting for.
Very
Is down
anticlimactic.
into this zone, and I missed it, guys. There was not really a retest. Oh, it
Actually
retested
look
at this
at-
point here.
my mistake.
Ah, that was the retest. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting going to.
WTI. Oh my dear. I won't do that.
Yeah, it's pretty well.
On the
Not
smaller
much
time.
moving either.
It's nothing's happening, guys. Unfortunately.
A nothing burger.
Nothing's happening. Nothing. It's a nothing burger for crude oil, that's for sure. Let's look at the NASDAQ. It has now moved into that fair value gap. So that's quite a strong decline here. A typical scenario where you probably got a lot of guys trapped, expecting a breakout to the upside. Just get rid of all these lines. Price breaks above last week Thursday's highs, I believe all-time highs, and bam, they get whipped. Dropping all those buyers, strong move downwards. It is though what it is. I want to take a trade here. If I can maybe just drill down to a smaller time frame. See if we can get some sort of indication of a potential reversal taking place.
And
But a very strong drop down, right?
yeah, it's retracing good. Pretty good.
We've got a fair value gap here, another one the upside. I think it might be worth taking a stab at this should price break above them, and then they can be used as inverse fair value
Let the
gaps.
influence happen. So
Well,
sad.
for what it's worth, NASDAQ score of an 8 on my setups, top setups.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Nice.
So it's one of the.
So price exactly tagged that centi-median line, which is the green line running through that fair
Just
value
did
gap.
not hit where I
Again,
thought
I'm on a
retest
1 minute
was
time
gonna
frame,
happen
here,
at.
so it's pretty aggressive.
Mhm.
See how beautifully it tagged that
Shoot,
centi-median line.
man! I
Will
knew
it stay above it?
knew it.
We'll just have to wait and see. Plus, we got another 10 minutes left.
It was right about here.
Switching back to the 1 minute. If price breaks below the centi-median line, probably going to
And then this
retrace.
candle
I would
right here
say,
scared me.
all of this move that we've seen to the upside.
Whoa.
But it is an area of interest for me, so
Well, sometimes you miss the
Let's see.
moves, guys. Sometimes.
I'm
you
not going to
miss
jump
it.
into a candle just because it gave the little bounce to the upside, right?
Nah, that's not enough for the story.
Yeah.
That's quite
We're
the
looking for a
curl
little
back.
bit more information.
Our rabbit.
Quite the curl back.
Obviously, it would have been nice if we could sort of like, do this towards it, more of a zigzag behavior, and then see price go upwards. But just one straight drop down. But again, this is also NASDAQ, right?
Well,
We move very fast. You've got to be quite quick to
That-
react, especially if you want to get into good levels here. So
was it, guys?
let's see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't really feel comfortable jumping in it either. I mean, I do see a 30-minute demand zone a little further down, but
Where's yours line?
22,789.
Do we even have the same price? between your broker and mine, because the one I'm showing you.
Yeah, the ones I
can
go after,
wildly differ.
yeah, typically a little lower, but I don't have great volume coming out of it at the bottom, so I'm just personally gonna let it play out, not even touch it.
Yeah, look, if it's not holding that median line or this area here, then like I said, it's probably going to take out all of this inefficiency that occurred to the upside, and potentially get another set. Oh, look at that!
Ooh, it's going down. It's going
Oh,
down.
it went
That's
through.
why you wait for some sort of other confirmation sometimes,
Yep.
right?
All right.
Especially if you're worried about it.
Good.
Yeah,
See,
absolutely.
that's what I said. It's my strategy there, and I missed it.
So, guys,
I
I'm sitting on my
missed it.
hand here. I'm not doing
Holy
much.
smokes. Did I miss it?
Let's quickly look here at the comment section, guys.
Well, it is time to go.
TBB Trades is asking
We
about
did not get to.
silver.
Silver.
Tiger, did you show silver yesterday?
Not on silver, I didn't, but I can.
No, I think it was Michael, wasn't it?
Well, you know
You
what?
showed
To be
silver.
fair,
I
it didn't
showed silver.
retest.
Yeah, I can pull up silver.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
Can you pull it up?
I trade silver.
Let's have a look at the TBB.
Yeah.
I'll jump back on it. But
Okay. Yeah, so silver is a little interesting. Let's see what we got. I'll show what I see on here. Yeah, so silver's pretty high, right? Like I don't really like to trade it when it's in this higher level like this. And also the market baseline is starting to point down, right? So I will personally be looking for a move to the downside that looks something like this. I would want to see this 5,200 cross to the downside, so I would know I'm in level 2.
All right, now are we gonna swing back through? Is the question.
Let's just say it happened like this. 5,200 cross. I know I'm in level 2. And I'm looking for that M off 200. Right. Simultaneously, what I would also want to see is this market baseline, how it's below. I want it to go back above and create that reload. Right, the reload is a must. As I always say, no reload, no trade on this particular setup, because they haven't trapped the traders yet. If they don't trap them, then you're gonna get trapped. That's what's gonna happen.
Yep.
Right, so I want to see this come down a little bit. Give me some type of M structure.
I don't know. That was
And then
pretty
drop
scary.
Towards this 800 EMA, and that move will look something like this. Right, got to put your stops above this swing point. So yeah, this will be a nice 2-for-1 as well. This is one scenario, and this is actually the preferred scenario. Yeah, because this is already really high. I wouldn't want to be taking this longer, right? Like it's already pretty high up here already. Like for me, this is a level 3 trade. I don't want to take this even high. I mean, you can do it obviously, but I would want to see some pull down to this 800 EMA first, right?
Gotcha.
And if that move happened, it would look like this. So this is scenario 1, right? Which is the preferred scenario.
Let's go.
Right, but we also have a second scenario that will look something like this. We do have a 5,200 cross.
Since that
here.
was the test area, we will do that.
All right, so same exact thing. 5,200 cross. It's already in level 2, going long.
Hey, we got our
This case, I will
first
look for a
trade
W
in
off the
our.
Right.
What's it
now,
called?
the market
Account?
baseline is kind of already below the static, so this is fine. But I would want to see it kind of dip a little bit further and then come up. All right, so same thing. Need that reload. Right, and then in this case, instead of it being an M, I would look for.
I don't know that I like this.
So we already have an outside the band here, so I can tell that
I don't like it.
the outside structure here, right? So maybe something like this. M structure, and then going back to the top here. And that move will look something like this. You would definitely want to close above the 50, which is stop below.
I don't
Target
like the
maybe
trade.
here. So as you can see, it's a much better move to the downside. Downside gives you a 2 for 1.
Shoot.
This one only gives you a 1 1/4. So this would be the second scenario. I'm much more leaning towards the downside because 1, it's already high. It's time for some pullback towards this 800 EMA, right? And then 2,
Oh, we're gonna get wrecked right there.
I like shorts way better than I like longs, but those are both scenarios on silver.
All right, hopefully that's the retest and we're bouncing higher.
Yeah, and I would.
From
Absolutely.
I think for me, I'm on a higher time frame for silver. Real quickly, yeah, I've got an alert set from I think 2 weeks ago down at the 34.
Don't think this is gonna play out in my favor
because of that strong exit. Let me pull it up real quick since we got a couple minutes. I think I talked about it.
Even on a 4-hour chart, it's super high. It's like it's
just
super high.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, as soon as it pops
if
up here,
that is
it's
the
just a long ways away.
Order filled.
I will give it a shot on this account too.
There we go. Cool.
Yeah. So if I just look at my 4-hour on silver, I mean, it's just a lot of congestion for my taste. Now, Michael laid out a couple of great ideas, obviously, for the 1 hour, but looking at the 4-hour, I'm basically looking at this demand zone candle way down here. So it's still got a long ways to go. I mean, just taking a look at the algorithm. I mean, silver's a 2. So it's very similar to gold. Looks like the retail traders are short, or they have a short bias. But obviously the big banks and institutions, that's a good divergence right there. When the retail is going short something, and the big banks
son
are
of
going
a
long
gun,
something,
we're gonna take that hit, huh?
So just from a sentiment point of view, but
that is just gonna wick down so fast and jack me up.
I just basically want to see a couple more pieces of good news coming for gold and silver, for that matter. And then, because I mean, all these wicks down here, looking down on a smaller time frame. I mean, I don't really see any demand. There was a demand zone that got hit perfectly right there and shot up at one point on a 1 hour time frame. Yeah, nothing on a 30. I mean, nothing immediately on the smaller time frames as far as demand. But yeah, that
come on, be a bounce for me.
So that's basically what I
I also like that level. I think that could be like
just be the retest and let me go higher.
Get a little manipulation in this area, up, down, buy to the long side, just like that.
Will it get there though? Who knows?
Probably not.
But if you see it happen,
Shoot.
then you react.
I mean,
we've almost reached the end of our session. Just want to catch up on some of these comments here. Robert said that he missed that move and
36.63.
want to pass accounts. I would probably log into the other account and missed the move.
Just my second.
Is that the NASDAQ you're talking about, Robert? I do know you like trading in the NASDAQ. All right, so you didn't take it. It would have been a loss, I suppose. Good stuff. Sometimes you're lucky. NASDAQ, NQ.
Sometimes the best trades are the ones you don't take.
Yeah. It's not about getting in all these good trades. Sometimes it's about staying out of bad trades. I say that all the time.
Exactly. Don't fall things either.
And there's so many opportunities right around the corner too. So
yeah. Guys, we've reached the end of our session. Robert, TBB trades, Gecko, Ismail, thank you for your comments.
All right, guys, it is time for me to skedaddle, get to work. All the loves. We will just monitor this trade as
and from my side,
whatever happens.
See you guys soon again. Have a good rest of your day.
And we'll just have to be okay with it. All the loves, all the peace.
You guys take it easy.
We just pray that you have a wonderful day. It's a wonderful day. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Jump. Make the jump up. No. Up. Will you do my strategy? Will it happen? We're hoping. We're hoping and praying. Let's freaking go. Let's go up more. Dun, 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 dun. No, rocket ship up. I want a rocket ship to the moon right now. Maybe not to the moon, but at least to our TP. I don't know why we jumped back in right there, but we did. That's crazy, I know. This did bounce the line, so that's what we're hoping for right now. We've got the inverse head and shoulders right there. If you want to see this, that's on the 15 minute frame. You can call this a W structure, hopefully, if you want to. I don't really care what you want to call it. But come on. Let's make it happen. No! Up. Uh-oh. Oh, those sellers came in like some hotcakes. They're dropping it like it's hot. Oh, shit. Bounce. Bounce. Come on. Come on. No. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Well, we went against our strategy. We took the little bit of win. We could not just stay with the little win, and we decided to be extra with
Stop
it.
filled.
Will we have a retrace right now? Don't know. It's trying to push up. I tried to press sell right now. It did not work. We're going to get that in there. Hopefully this takes. How far could we come down? Maybe down to the 2763, which would be somewhere right in here. All right, top of other orb. All right, here's starting to move a lot. It's either gonna shoot down or shoot up and kill me. I'm hoping for the shoot down. I probably got trapped here. Probably getting trapped here. That's kind of showing us that we're looking at more buys. We're gonna get hit here. Yeah, we got to get to work, but we need to make sure this one's in profit before we go ahead and leave. Once it drops probably below 22950. All right. Probably should have left that in. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know what to. Why is it not auto scrolling? Well, we have a loss today. That's all right. All the peace, all the loves. We will get them next time. Legit, we are up on the one account that is our funded account. Peace be the journey. Yeah, let's close that. I don't know really what's going on there, but anyways, all the loves. We will, you know, that's just a little rough. We're just gonna have to deal with it. I don't want to, but we do. But we have a sacrifice account, and that's the one we'll be trading for the rest of the day because we're gonna keep our red days low. Our funded account got the small win. We missed this trade on the ones that we wanted to. I did essentially, and then I caught the little low, a little bit of a jump back up here, and then it seemed a little weird. I came out here or something like that. Then it reached up here and I was like, yep, it's going all the way back up. And then nope, it did not. So I jumped in here, FOMO'd the rest of this move to the top here. It did not happen. And then I FOMO'd here. Luckily, I was able to, you know, win like $2 there. And it may go lower, it may not. Just keep our losses to a minimum. So peace, let me get to work. I will see you next time.